Alright kids, welcome back to the shop. Today we're going to make a Japanese knife. And that's what it's going to look like. And that's the name of it.
It's pronounced Kamagata Usuba. It's a Japanese vegetable knife.
So Lauren's fiance asked me to make him this knife after seeing her coconut chopper. So what I decided to do is something a little bit different. This is mild steel. This is the lawnmower blade. So what I'm going to do is you see right here, I'm going to cut this out. I'm going to cut out the mild steel, the same shape, put the lawnmower blade into here, weld it in place, and then I'm going to bevel it. I'm going to do something a little different than the last video because I didn't like the way that was beveled with my sander. I'm going to take it to the milling machine and I'm going to mill the bevel.
I set it up on my welding table. I have everything beveled. I want 100% penetration. I destroyed my camera lens the last time I tried to film welding, so obviously I didn't film it this time, but it turned out good.
I decided to leave it bolted to the welding table. This is a bad idea. It's not as rigid as I thought. Listen to the vibration. You can see how the tool was vibrating. I don't like this at all. Also, look at the machine marks. That's because I had to keep moving my strap clamps to get it away from the end mill. Also keep in mind that when you're machining metal, stresses are relieved, and even though you have it strapped down, it will warp a little bit. In general, this is looking pretty good. When I flip it over, I'm going to take it off of the welding table and bolt it straight to the mill table. This is looking good. Here's the template. And remember I said that I didn't have to worry about that. And you see my machined way more than I needed to. I'll have to keep that in mind next time, but it really wasn't a big deal. Next, what we're going to do, we're going to cut the bevel. I measured this at 0.174. One side was a little thinner than the other, no big deal. Half of that was 0.087, and hopefully you guys can see the scribe line. I scribed it here and on both sides. So that's going to be the point. All right, guys, I got my head on the mill. I have it set to 5 degrees. See right there? So 5 degrees on this side, flip it over, 5 degrees on the other side equals 10 degrees. This is the first time I've done this, so I don't know what we're in for. So I'm going to kind of wing it, as always. And we're coming to right about here. Well, there you have it. Can you see that edge? Just a little tiny here, right here. It's a little thick, but that'll grind out. It's looking good. It's pretty even. So let's head to the bandsaw and let's cut out our profile here. Alright, this thing's starting to look like a knife. Now, I'm going to go back to the mill and I'm going to use my fly cutter and try to get rid of these machine marks. Remember how I said machining relieves stress and the metal won't sit flat even if it's clamped down? That sucks. Let's see if I can clean this mess up with the end mill. Well, that didn't work out as I wanted. The fly cutter, I'm having problems with that, and it's the way my head of the machine is adjusted. And you see here I have machine marks. That's because this wasn't laying flat on the table. And I had the strap clamps on, strap clamps, and I had to move them, and when I did, things still weren't completely flat. This side actually is a lot better. So what I'm going to do, I can live with this. I can't live with this. So I'm going to go to the grinder. That's what I didn't want to do, the sander. I did not want to go to the sander. I head off to the sander. I don't record it. I think I was sanding for probably at least an hour or so. There she is in all of her glory. This is from where I welded. I guess I didn't get penetration. I don't know if you guys can see it. These tiny scratches, I cannot get them out. Spent all kind of time on the grinder. This side's looking good. Now remember, the handle's going here, so I didn't mess with it too much. And I have this little scratch here I couldn't get out. I don't know why. I mean, it's grinding up a storm. So I say we get a handle on this. I'm still not sure what kind of handle I'm going to use. So let me chew on it for a while. It's looking good. I'm using an oak handle, and I glue it on with clear JB Weld. I'm going to take it to the bandsaw and rough everything in. I can't believe how hard this oak is. This is 80 grit sandpaper, and it's not even putting a dent in it. I'm going to go old school on this thing. I'm going to use a rasp. Back to the sander for some finish work. I still can't believe how hard this handle is. Alright, this is looking pretty good. Let's hit it with some boiled linseed oil. My favorite finish. I do a couple coats of a hand rub finish. This looks good. It turned out really nice. I'm surprised how light the handle is. This must be white oak. What do you guys think? Leave a comment. I'm using my Lansky tool to sharpen this thing. I start at 70 grit, end up at 1000 grit. This thing is a no-brainer. You choose the angle you want. In this case, I'm using 20 degrees. You set it up and you do one side. You flip it over, you do the other side. And then you work your way down to 1000 grit. Rinse and repeat. I 3D printed a sheath. Got everything sharpened up. Let's see how we did. There we go. Look at that. All right, there we go. That's a wrap. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.